OCFC Audit Committee. If everybody could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, next up we have the minutes for the past meeting. Has everybody had an opportunity to review?
Yes.
Okay, I would like to note a few minor technical changes to the minutes. For roll call, it references chairwoman. I was not present at that time, so it should say acting chairman. Same as with item 3, the proof of notice would have been acting chairman. And with those minor changes, can I have a motion for approval?
Motion.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. New business, audit request for proposals.
Yes. Okay, first item, we're gonna cover this in both OCFC and OCIDA audit committee meetings, but we'll just have a real discussion this one since it's the first one. We, as you know, we just finished our audit. It's the 3rd year in a row we've had PKF O'Connor Davies do it. As was discussed at great length in our last audit committee meeting that they appeared, in our subsequent board meeting. They did a great job. We're working very well together. Again, it's our 3rd year. It's really very smooth now, as we talked about and you inquired about. The time is down to about as narrow as it can be for this window here. Our audit services policy is in front of you. Looks like this. Snuck it in somewhere.
Yes.
Over there. Maybe. Is it that one? Yes. Just looking at A, section A to this. The certified independent public accounting firm performing the agency's audit will be prohibited from providing audit services if the lead audit partner responsible for reviewing the audit has performed audit services for the agency in each of the 5 previous fiscal years. So even, we've had this in the past, even if you stay with the same firm, the lead auditor needs to change. Otherwise, if it's 5 years, then you have to go with someone else. So we are still 2 years away from even infringing upon this. But we have talked about it, including on Finance Committee, about having maybe going out to RFP, but we would like to stay with this firm for at least another year. So I just wanted to have a discussion in this meeting here, but we would like to stay with PKF at least for the 2025 audit.
Just opinion, I think PKF does do an excellent job. I also think it never hurts to shop. That's done.
You're done? Okay. I would say this. I think, seconding, we should shop around, but regardless, let's say it still comes back that PK is the way to go,
Mm-hmm.
then I still would say to them, our policy is we need to see changes when it comes to the lead person. Nothing against the woman, she was fantastic, but it's good, it's good fiscal responsibility to say, no, there should be an extra set of eyes. That's why they force people at banks to take vacations, so that other people can see behind the curtain. And so I think regardless, either way, we should have a new chief auditor, a chief person, I think, next year.
Okay.
3 years, 5 years is generous. There's nothing wrong with doing it every 3 years and being conservative about it. I know we've got a good quote-unquote rhythm, but that isn't necessarily what you want when it comes to fiduciary oversight. So that would be my recommendation.
Okay.
The only thing I would say is that in that, we liked the presentation, we thought it was a very good audit, and we did make comments saying that, hey, and I agreed as well, it's like, you did great, you know, you have this down. You could probably do it in less time next year, et cetera, whatever, and they had said, yeah, we know the system, we're working well with everybody, and we've gotten our responses back, which is always a problem. They kind of consolidate that to get responses back, which always held us up right to the end,
Mhm.
and then including Marty and Kelly adding to all that. So, however you guys want to go ahead with it, but I mean, I'm comfortable with the firm that we have. I'm not saying don't shop around, always shop, right?
Right.
We do that for just about everything in our own lives, but it's up to you guys.
I think it's a happy medium for us to get other quotes, and if we want to decide to stay with them, we can, based upon that. We have a sanity check on the pricing, I can't argue with that.
Well, and then also I feel, you know, at least now we're also gathering other firms' names.
True.
So when that 5 years is up, we have options.
Yep.
And we can go then and say, okay, you know, you put in a bid before, you know, we're thinking about doing a change, you know, can you give us a proposal?
Okay, we'll do that.
And
Sure.
again, I'm not saying we should leave them.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm saying that they have other auditors at the firm.
Definitely.
And having someone else do it for another, you know, doing it for the next 3 years is fine also.
Okay,
As long as it is someone else that comes in with a different set of eyes and a different viewpoint. That's proper fiduciary oversight.
understood. But you still second the idea of getting other quotes? just for-
Absolutely,
Okay,
should always get other quotes.
okay.
I think that's our obligation to the public, to make sure
Absolutely.
we got the best possible price. And not saying PKF it won't be, we don't know until we know.
Yeah, they've been under our budgeted amount so far, they really have kept it pretty tight, but doesn't mean we, again, shouldn't sanity check that with other quotes, so
Yeah.
we'll do that. We'll do that for both agencies, okay?
Can I just add that in the past, they have had, Melissa has been the lead auditor, but the other ones that really do the actual work have changed.
Yeah.
This isn't a question of, like, I am 100% sleep easily knowing that we're good. But again, and for the reasons you say, but being the lead auditor is different than being a support person. And so having that person that has, in theory, more independence as the lead auditor than the person kind of reporting up, is why this is in the bylaws in the first place, and why it has to happen, or it should happen, because again, look, this is me. I've worked with a lot of large public companies. I had a very large client called Enron, and
I don't know if I would say that.
Yeah.
Jeez,
That's
no
yourself.
wonder you're nervous. So
so there are, so again, back to my banking, that is why people have to take vacations, to allow other people to look at what's going on. So I understand what you're saying. It's not we have nothing to defend against, we have nothing to say about that. But proactively, this is frankly what we should be doing. And so, again, you should shop around to see what price is. And then again, regardless, I think even if we stay, that we should broach the subject with them and say, every 3 years we want to change the lead auditor
Okay,
for our own responsibility.
sure.
But thanks for your comments, though, because I didn't realize that as well. So not that I was, and so I knew the second person that did was different from the previous, but I never really thought about they mixed it up. So
No, they always have junior people that are doing that, which is great. Because again, you would hope that they would catch something as well. The only problem is in this scenario, they're reporting up to the main person. And again, in absolutely no way I want this to be misconstrued. But if you're the main person, then you have the final say. And that, I don't even want to say it because I don't want to make it seem like there's some sort of accusation. But that's why you change the lead auditor. So that way, that person has the final look and can hopefully be independent enough to say something if they need to.
Their internal professional standards probably will make them do it every 5 years. So the corporate-wise, to your point, every 5, they'll probably have its
A different partner.
standard.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's it for this agenda.
All right, so can I have a motion to adjourn?
I will make the motion.
Can I have a second,
Second.
please? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned at 4:15.